3-game WNBA slate we got on this mid Sunday. I'm gonna call it a midday. It's a midday because it's not the greatest slate in the world, but you know what? It's still a slate. I'm joined by my boy BK. You know what it is. You know what time it is. We bring you this content. We're trying to give you guys some winners. If you guys played yesterday, we're gonna crumble that shit up, throw it in the trash, and not even look back. Because yesterday was ass from jump. And I said it from at the start of that stream, right? I hate these slates that the New York Liberty and the Atlanta and not the Atlanta that the Las Vegas Aces are on because it goes one or two ways. They either blow out a team or the team or one of them don't show up.
Yeah.
And literally both of them damn things happen. New York Liberty gonna blow out the Minnesota Lynx. Aces didn't show up.
Yeah.
Straight up. That like it was I was sitting, I was like, this is exactly what I said was gonna happen. And it fucking happened. That's some shit. Ain't that some damn shit? The Washington Mystics, you was right about that shit though. That they was gonna have to come to play. They came to play.
They did. They did. Atlanta for real came to play.
Yeah, Atlanta Deladon, she said, "Fuck this shit, nah."
And we said it. She played what, like 23 minutes yesterday.
I
Told you that 11 to 14 minute shit was gonna have to be thrown out the window. Y'all gotta win. You gotta win.
She went out there, and I'm shocked they did it against what's considered the best team in the league. And it's not like they didn't play their girls, but yeah, Atlanta Deladon, 22 minutes. In 22 minutes, she got 21 points. That's actually pretty impressive. Atkins, decent value. She went out there, she did her thing. 16 points, 2 rebounds and shit. Freaking Austin, she really didn't get going. That girl, she missed so many damn free throws. It kills me whenever she gets to the daggone line. And then Cloud, with everybody back, she out there, she dishing the rock. 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 7 points. Not bad. So all in all, they played a great defensive game going up against them. I give it to them. Yesterday was a wash of a slate. Wasn't the best slate, but you know what? We bouncing back to what we got. Because I'm not even gonna lie, today's not the greatest day, but it's still a day. So looking at the injury report, don't pay attention to the first game. First game already started. If you guys played the showdown, more power to you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just woke up, so I missed that. But we got the Atlanta Dream taking on the Indiana Fever. For the Dream, of course, we got to know whether or not if Alicia Gray is going to play or not. They've been holding her out due to the ankle. Hopefully we will get that news before the slate locks. So if she plays, of course, it's going to be a downgrade to players like Ari McDonald, who's priced up at 6'5". I want to say that's going to be way too much, especially if Alicia Gray is back. She's going to get bumped back to the bench. That's going to mess around with some of the things that they got going on. For the Indiana Fever, it has Lexi Hull as a game time decision. Lexi Hull is out for the season. She's not coming back. They already have said that her hand, she's done. So I don't know why it has that as a game time decision. So don't pay attention to that. For Dallas, we got to wait, figure out if Satu is going to play or not, because that's going to have some implications. Kind of just like the Washington Mystics. Dallas needs to win. Like we kind of messing up over these last couple games. There's no reason why we lost back-to-back games going up against the Minnesota Lynx. Our 4th spot sitting in Shannon, that's looking a little shaky right now. We gotta get some of these easy dubs, and this is going up against the Phoenix Mercury, which should be an easy dub. They will be without Diana Taurasi and Shea Petty once again today. Brittany Griner is expected to be back. She's not on the injury report. How many minutes and what kind of Brittany Griner we're going to get, honestly, I couldn't tell you, because even before she went out, it's been hit or miss with BG. But she is expected to be back today. And then for the Chicago Sky, for the Storm, there's no injury news that we got to worry about in that one. It's really these first 2 games right here that we got to figure out some injury news, figure out what the hell's going on in these games in order for us to attack and figure out how we're going to go. So going over to DraftKings, the site that we play the most on, the site that has been kind to us throughout the season. Yeah, Dallas should beat the Mercury 717. If you guys don't have an account over here on DraftKings, check the link down in the description below so you guys can go ahead and get that deposit match bonus and join us over here on the King and try to win some of this money with us too. Starting out with the Atlanta Dream taking on the Fever. This one right here, like we said, we really do need to know whether or not if Alicia Gray is going to be back. If she's going to be back, that's going to mess with everyone in the starting lineup outside of Cheyenne Parker. I know Cheyenne Parker plays better whenever she has a guard that likes to pass, a guard that will look for her and can go to her. And one of those things, and that's one of those things that Alicia Gray brings. Also, on top of that, she helps spread the floor and lets Parker be able to get those one-on-one matchups that she normally has. This spot going up against the Indiana Fever, is definitely one that Parker, I want to say she's done pretty decent in throughout this for the season. 37, 33, and 32 fantasy points, all 30 plus fantasy point games. I would definitely go right back to that. That's even with Alicia Gray playing. If Alicia Gray's out, I'm even more inclined to go to her because Indiana Fever not a team that doubles, so that's going to be even more money for Cheyenne down there on the block. When you got a rookie and a second year player that both can foul a ton, both can spend time sitting on the bench because they can't keep their hands to themselves. And when you got a dominant person like that out there playing, you definitely want to go to it. So Cheyenne definitely at the top of the list if I'm looking at anything, and that's with or without Alicia Gray playing. Now, if Alicia Gray was to be out, of course, you're going to want to go right back, running back to Ryan. If you guys pay attention, the last video or last slate that we did said it from the jump. If you're going to play Ryan Howard, play her first half points. She went over that. She scored 11 points in the first half. I think, what was her props in that? Like 10.5 or 10 or something on the last slate. She went over that. That second half, she did not score until in the fourth quarter. The Sparks was doubling, tripling. They was doing everything to Ryan getting the ball out of her hands, which was another reason why we got to see Cheyenne Parker go off, Monique Billings go off, Ari, Danielle, all of them stepped up in that spot because Ryan could not do anything in that game. With some really great defense that they played on her. So again, this spot right here should actually be much different. I wouldn't expect, again, much doubles and whatnot. Ryan, she should be drawing Wallace defense if Wallace is going to actually start. And as you can see right here, definitely a comeback, bounce back spot for her. 33, 35, and 43 fantasy points. And I think this only goes up if Alicia Gray is going to be out because she should be able to go out there and jack up as many shots as she wants. The Fever, another team that tends to go underneath screens and not over and doesn't fight through the screens as well. So, Ryan, she likes to go out there, jack up some threes, take it to the hole, things like that. Definitely do not mind some Ryan. Now, outside of that, Danielle Robinson, Ari McDonald, both of them, I would rather take Danielle if Alicia Gray is back because she said at 6,700 she's a starter. That's going to be fine. If Alicia Gray is back, I'm not going to mess with Ari. That's way too much. 6,500 for a play that's going to be playing her bench rotation minutes. She's not going to get that burn and run like you would normally see. Like what she's gotten over these last 3 games with Alicia Gray being out, she's going to go right back down to this 20-ish minutes like that. I would expect in 65 way too much. Billings, unless they start her. If they start her, I will take a chance. If they don't, I'm not going to jump and go to expect another big explosive 24-point double type game from her. If you guys know Monique Billings and you've seen her play, that's enough said. I'm not even going to mess with that. Everyone else down here, if Alicia Gray's out, I'll take a flyer again on Haley Jones. She's come back down to 4,200. That's not a bad price. And really, that's going to be it for me on the dream side. What you got, bro?
Yeah, just like you said, same thing. If Alicia Gray is out, Ryan Howard. Even if Alicia Gray plays, Ryan Howard still has done really well in this matchup, so I still like going to her. It's just a small downgrade. For me, as far as props go, I think her blocks and steals are worth the look. Her free throws for sure, and threes made. Love her threes made for sure today. Um, if Alicia Gray plays, I love her. She probably be lower on since we are waiting on injury news and nobody's really paying attention or looking at her today. So if she does play, she will be a nice tournament play. I do believe she's had 32, 36, and 35 fantasy points versus this team as well. If they do put up her props, her threes, free throws for sure, free throws. Um, but yeah, like you said, kind of off McDonald if Gray play. D Rob is okay. Billings okay. Cheyenne, just like you said, is crushed in this matchup. Let's take a look at her minutes in each game. We know that she's had 30 plus fantasy points in each game, and she's done all of that in less than 30 minutes
30
of
minutes. Yeah.
actual playing time in each of those games. So yeah, love her in all formats. Her free throws, her PR, her stocks, all good props. But for me, it was her field goals made coming in at 5.5. She's had 6, 6, and 7 field goals made in each of those 3 games and has been over 4 in the last 5. So love that prop today. Love the matchup for today. Like he said, if you hit it on the head with the free throws, man. Boston gets into foul trouble, and Melissa Smith can also foul. So her free throw prop as well. I wish it was at 2.5. It's at 3.5 today. Um, honestly, if we would have got the Alicia Gray news before the dream props were put up, they probably would have set it back at 2.5. So I still like it. I don't like it as much at 3.5. I would probably just go with what did I say? Her stocks or her field goals made.
Okay. Definitely agree. So if you guys don't have a practice account, check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus, and you guys can run some of these slips and plays that we're talking about. I will go ahead and put some of BK's favorite props as he talks about them, and that'll be a slip that I personally run myself. So you guys get a free slip right here on the stream, and a lot of the props that he's talking about are Patreon members. They already got those. If you guys want to check that out, the link for that down is in the description below. You get plays before they get bumped and before we come on and do these videos and things like that, so you guys don't miss some of the value. Going over to the Indiana Fever side, I know we just talked crap about Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith, but they too were still inside of a decent spot where they can both have some decent production. Alyssa Smith in this spot, she did pop off one game in 31 minutes for 46 fantasy points. And then the second game, she only played 24 minutes and she gave us 24 fantasy points. So a fantasy point per minute. And then going over here to Boston, her herself, she's actually done decent in the last two games, 24 fantasy points in 26 minutes in that first game. But since after that, 42 and 54 fantasy points, playing 30 minutes in those games afterwards. So if you want to run like I personally think that the Atlanta and the Fever game might be the safest / a stackable game that you can go to today in all formats, just because the fantasy goodness from both of these teams, they play fast. You already know the Fever they don't play defense. You know, they try to shoot you out of the gym, things like that. They just try to pepper you with offense. The Dream themselves, they do play defense, but they can be a little laxy daisy and eh, hit or miss sometimes, especially considering that one of their anchors on the defensive side is Alicia Gray. And if she was to miss, that's going to be just a huge implication for allowing players like Kelsey Mitchell or Erica Wheeler to be able to go off in these positions, stuff like that. Now, if they do start their more defensive inclined lineup with Dane Robinson, Ari McDonald, Ryan, Monique Billings, and Cheyenne Parker, Billings is in it for the defense. Billings is a pretty good defender herself. So that'll be a more defensive inclined lineup. But with all that being said, still Boston, Alyssa Smith, both of them. I just had typed this inside the chat. I would play Boston in cash. I would play Smith in the in GPPs just for the fact that Smith, she will normally foul out of a game before Aaliyah Boston. Boston has gotten much better with her fouls. Smith will be the one I see pick up a shit ton of fouls for no reason. Now Kelsey Mitchell and Erica Wheeler. Before I even touch on them, Grace Berger is sitting at 6K. I am not touching that. She is still a bench player. Yes, she popped off in that last game. In 24 minutes, she dropped 31.5 fantasy points, scoring 14 points. Hopefully, you guys played her in that last game when she was 4,600. They jumped that up to 6K. That is way too much. That is a huge jump for a player that is not starting. Again, this is one of those players that if she's below 5K, I will take that. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna mess with that. That is way too expensive to go to on the slate. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, Erica Wheeler. I have a little bit of interest in both of them. Erica Wheeler in this spot, 22, 24, and 32 fantasy points. And in those first two games, she only played 21 and 24 minutes. That last game, she played 31, and that's where we actually got to see her go off. Now, Kelsey Mitchell, I don't know if she's like chasing a record or she's doing something, but over her last several games, she's been very hot. She's been on fire. Going up against the Dream, she's had a mixing pot at least over 20 plus fantasy points in every single one of these games that she has played going up against them. With the highest in 35 minutes, she dropped 32 fantasy points. So this is a slate where definitely gonna have to look at getting different. And one of the ways you can get different is playing a Fever guard. I normally don't ever go to them at all. Wallace, if she's starting, you can still go and look there. That's not a bad look right there, but just know that her production is kind of capped because it's hit or miss on what the hell she's going to go out there and give you. Really hasn't had that big game, even though she is in the starting lineup. Maybe this could be a spot that she can actually do that. But if I am going to go anything, Aaliyah Boston would be top of my list. Erica Wheeler would be the next one right there. Kelsey Mitchell and then Alyssa Smith would be how I would rank them. And yeah, I see you guys commenting. The Dream, they're going to get killed on the inside. They definitely can. If Boston and Smith going in there, able to do what they do, stay out of foul trouble, it can definitely be a big game for both of them. They definitely can produce and go off in the spot. It is true. And Erica Wheeler, she has had some pretty decent games going up against the Dream. This is definitely a spot where she can go out there and do that TC. But what you got for this one, bro?
So for me, I do like Kelsey Mitchell. I honestly, like you said, I would probably go Wallace over Grace Berger, especially if she getting a start. She's done well twice in the three matchups. So I don't hate looking at her today. Like you said, that's just a crazy.
I say, yeah, she has in 21 minutes, she dropped 23 fantasy points. 25 minutes, she's dropped 27 fantasy points. So still starting, sitting at 5,300. She is cheaper than the bench player that they're trying to put out there. I would definitely look to go into that. That's probably one of the more decent value plays that we actually have on today's slate. Waiting for BK to come back in because his thing just cut out for a second.
Crazy jump. We've seen it a couple of times this year. I mean,
hold on. We are still waiting for you to come back.
Wheeler, I did want to touch on.
Are you with us, bro? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Right.
okay. Yeah.
I did want to touch on Erica Wheeler. 22, 24, and 32 fantasy points versus this team, versus her former team. Um, she's also hit her assists in every one. Her assist came from 4.5 down to 4 now. I love it at an even 4. Love her fantasy score today. Somebody called that out. I do like her to turn up today versus this team. So I love almost really every last one of her props she's hit versus this team. I don't know what was going on that last game. But they have given her minutes this versus this team. She has done well in this matchup. So the fantasy score for me, I love that. I would, if I had to rank her, rank it, I would probably go her fantasy score 1, the assist 2, and then her PRA 3. But I love Erica Wheeler today. She's at a decent price over here on DraftKings. I like the spot for her. Like I said, she has done well in this spot, so I don't mind that. Aaliyah Boston, back-to-back 25-point games. She's done it with Nalissa Smith. She's done it without Nalissa Smith. So love that, and she's also in the spot where she can get to the foul line. 3 or 4 first game, 5 or 5 second game, and she was 1 for 7 that last game. We needed her to come through, and she just missed every last one of her free throws. So I think this is a spot where you can go back to her free throws because I guarantee you, if she gets to the line this time, she knows that she was 1 for 7 that last time versus them, and more than likely won't miss another what 6 free throws, bro. Like, yeah, that was crazy. So I like those spots today. Like you said, Alyssa Smith is a sneaky play as well. Without Nia Coffey, I mean, they take a hit there defensively. Uh, Billings is okay defensively, but can get into some foul trouble. And then Cannon, if you just want to take a dart, you think one of these bigs get into foul trouble, you can look at Emma Cannon.
True. All right, that's gonna be it that we got for this game. So here goes a little 2-man. If you guys just want a 2-man from this game, here goes one right here. Cheyenne Parker, 5.5 field goals made. Erica Wheeler, 21.5. 21 fantasy score. So easy little 2-man right there. Nice way to start the day off. Moving on to the next one, we got the Dallas Wings taking on the Phoenix Mercury. This game on paper, legit. Dallas should roll and destroy, smack up left and right the Phoenix Mercury. It should not be a close game. It shouldn't be a game that should have any issues and problems. But the Dallas Wings, over the last 2 games, have gone out here and embarrassed me. They have not played well. Of course, we all know if Satu misses, the usage should be there for Arike and Howard. Last game, I know a lot of people were upset because Arike, she went out there. She scored 20.25 fantasy points on 4-15 shooting in 37 minutes. Didn't do jack shit. Natasha Howard, she went out there. Foul trouble. Dropped 20.75 fantasy points in 25 minutes. Foul trouble. That's why she only played the 25 minutes. They ended up having to run a lot of Maddie. They ran a lot of a walk. They ran a lot of Tierra McCowan and Kalani Brown out there to cover up for the lapse of the fact that Natasha Howard was not able to keep her hands to herself and stay out of trouble. This is a good spot to go back to them both, especially if Satu was to miss. I would go right back to them because you're going to have Arike. She's going to be guarded by Mariah Jefferson or Sophie Cunningham. One of those two are going to try to defend her. And then Natasha Howard, you got her going up against Wnba or Breonna Turner. Still, either way, they should have a decent game in the spot going up against them. Tierra McCowan, I know that's my girl. I'm not going to go to her today. She's going to have the matchup going against Brittany Griner. I normally do not attack Brittany Griner with opposing centers. This is someone that can actually match her in stature and everything out there on the court. In 23 minutes last time she played going up against the Phoenix Mercury, she gave us 14.75 fantasy points. So really, I don't think she's had the best game going up against the Phoenix Mercury anyway. So yeah, this year she's had what? Only that one game, 23 minutes, dropped 15 fantasy points. And then inside of the other game, she's had one game where she played 25 minutes and she dropped 35 fantasy points. And this is last year when they didn't have Brittany Griner.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, no Brittany Griner. So Phoenix, one of the teams that I normally do not attack with opposing centers anyway. If I'm going to look at anything, it is going to be Arike and it's going to be Natasha Howard. Now, if Satu was to miss again, you got a walk. She is still sitting here at 4.9. If they started, that's pretty much just value right there. And then if you want to pivot, you can always pivot to Maddie, but understand if Maddie's not starting, yes, she may go out here and at least get 15 or so minutes. If she can be productive in those time, that's going to be good. If the game was to blow out, I would expect a lot more of Maddie. So that's definitely an option that you can go to right here on the slate. I don't know why they have Diamond and Shields as questionable because I ain't seen no news about Diamond playing at all this season.
Right.
Outside of that, Sims, Burton, not really going to mess with these two. I know Sims, she got some decent run in that last game, 13 minutes, but only 6.5, a horrible point per minute producer. And then Burton herself, 5 minutes, 3.5 fantasy points in that last game. I really don't feel like it's anything to go to. So for me on this one, it's going to be Arike, Natasha Howard, a walk, and Maddie if Satu was to miss. If Satu was back, either way, I will still be on Arike and Natasha Howard. Satu will be a GPP option for me because, of course, coming back from injury, nobody's going to really want to play her. That should make her lower owned. That's why she'll be GPP. But I do feel safer with Arike, the matchup that she has, and Natasha Howard.
Okay. Like you said, not really on McCowan today. I would probably go Kalani Brown more than I would go McCowan. I just think Kalani Brown is more physical, and that's one thing that has been Griner's kryptonite. She doesn't like physicality. That's why you see that some of these players that play big in the post can actually take advantage of that matchup. But either way, like you said, centers versus Griner really hasn't been a thing this year, so I'm not really looking there. Same thing, Natasha Howard, especially if Sabali misses, definitely on her. Arike, I love, like completely love. They just have not had an answer for her with or without Tarasi. It really doesn't matter. For me, her threes made. I don't know if they put turnovers up for her, but I love her threes made. Her three-point combo with Sophie. But if you don't trust Sophie, her threes made is fine as well. I don't really have, like you said, I don't really have a lot for Dallas. For me, it's the same thing, the same two, Natasha Howard and Agumba Wale. I guess you could take a look at Dangerfield, but outside of those main two, I'm just not really looking at anybody else. But Natasha Howard PR, I will wait for that. Um, See if Sabali's out, and then if she's out, I love her PR. I mean, I love it even if she's in, but I think I love it more if Sabali's out. Um, and her turnovers, I love her turnovers. At 2.5, I think she can get there today. Turnovers.
Talking about for Howard,
Yeah,
2 turnovers. Oh, it's at 2.5 now.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, that's all I had to.
All right, going over to the Phoenix Mercury side. I honestly have nothing for the Phoenix Mercury, and I'm going to be very honest. This team has looked like shit, complete shit, and I use that very lightly because I don't like to degrade the women of the WNBA, but unfortunately, I have to call it like I see it. They have looked like shit the past couple games, and what's even worse is that they have not won a game on their home court since Nikki Blue took over. They have not won at home yet. So again, that's why I got Dallas. Of course, Dallas should win this game. They can't figure out how to put it together yet. They're still missing players. If I'm gonna take any stabs over here, if I'm gonna take anything from this, I guess you can look at Sophie Cunningham as a possible player. I know she's gonna have to step up with the fact that you got Diana Taurasi missing. Should maybe see a couple more shots for her. Like you said, that 3-point joint prop. We know she's gonna go out there and jack up her threes. Dallas, one of those teams, we do give up quite a few threes as well. Let's look and see what Sophie has done going up against Dallas this season. In the games going up against us, she's had 27 and 16 fantasy points. So, I mean, you have that right here. Maybe you can go and look at Megan, just for the fact that she can stretch the floor. She doesn't have to play inside in the post. She does like to take those mid-range and those 3-point type shots. In her 2 games going up against the Phoenix Mercury, she's played 3 minutes and 6 minutes, giving us 2 and 9 fantasy points in those games. I understand that Brittany Griner is back, but Megan still coming off the bench. I would expect Brittany, maybe Griner, she's going to be on one of those type of minute limits. We've seen this the last time that she came back from something. I think might have been an ankle or a hip or something like that. BG came back, but she wasn't playing her full allotment of minutes. They had her around like that 20 to 25-ish range in those games. I can't find it. I think it might have been, yeah, here we go. First game back, she played 20 minutes, giving us 23.5 fantasy points. So this is a spot we could probably see Megan get at least her still a decent run coming in for BG. But at 7-6, it's definitely going to be a GPP option for you right there. Outside of that, Wnba has just been so hit or miss. It's just been trash. I can't even trust it anymore. Mariah Jefferson, I know we normally take opposing guards going up against my Dallas Wings, but she has been just there. She hasn't done anything in her time of what she's gotten out there. So I guess for me, really, honestly, it's just Sophie Cunningham. Like that's honestly just it. This is not. Yeah, no, that's weird. It's weird. I have nothing good to say about Phoenix, man. Nothing.
All right. Well, here's my thing. Let me say this. Number one, I do like Garner, but this game got to be close. I do feel like she can go out there, get fouled in the first half, hit her free throw props. It's at 3. So I do like that. Her field goals made have been a thing in this matchup as well. I failed to see where that was at. Hold on. Let me take a look.
On the 27th, she went 6 of 8 from the free throw line.
And then, yeah, her field goals made is at 7.5. I think she's hooked once in this matchup. Yeah, she's hooked once in this matchup. 10, 8, and 7. But again, that's us hoping that this game is close.
That's a big ask.
Shug Sutton is another player that I was looking at. If you do think that this game does blow out, Petty is still out. She has seen 30, 17, 22, 18 minutes in her last 5, 17. So anywhere from 15, I guess, to 20 to 30 minutes that she could play. But I mean, you can see in this matchup, they like her for her defense. 31 the first game, 29, 23. But a lot of that was due to Mariah Jefferson only playing 5 and 6 minutes those first 2 games. Yeah. So her history versus this team is a little bit skewed because she really hasn't played. The one game that she did play, she did have 22 fantasy points in 30 minutes. Now, she does have big time upside versus this Dallas team. Remember, she did play in Dallas for a little bit. We see last year, 25 minutes, 22 fantasy points, 34 minutes, 50 fantasy points, and 23 minutes, 4 fantasy points. So you can see the floor there. But she does have some upside, so I wouldn't sleep on her. I would definitely put her in my player pool. But Shug Sutton is the one that I would be looking at. That's the guard that I would prioritize the most. She's 5'8" on DraftKings. I love the price for her. But to touch on for Jefferson, I don't really care too much for her on the DFS side. The prop that I love for her is her assist prop at 3.5. Now, her last 10, she's covered this prop in 8 of her last 10, 3 of her last 5. We see that when she did get the minutes versus this team, 23 minutes, she put up 4 assists. And again, that wasn't just the 23 minutes. Hold on, wait.
That was in the 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes. I'm sure I was looking at Sutton, my bad. In 30 minutes, she had 4 assists. So, I mean, we see that she can get there. And again, like I said, when you look at what she's done in her last 10, last 5, most of those games was without Griner. So, with Griner on the floor, that should help some too.
I don't know, man. Jefferson, she's just been so hit or miss. So if you got to go with one of them from the Phoenix Mercury side, would you take Mariah Jefferson's assist or would you take Brittany Griner's free throws?
Ugh. Probably Jefferson assists because you don't know how Griner gonna play coming back. Now I do love her free throws. I love it. I got it in my personal 6 that I put out for today. So I would definitely go Jefferson assists. I actually got both of them in there, but I like Jefferson assists a lot more, especially after I looked at her last 10 and saying that she only missed it twice in her last 10. So like I said, with Griner being there, that should definitely help her cash that. She should hopefully hit that in the first half.
Okay. All right. So as you can see now, if you guys want another one, you could take. If you they just bumped Jefferson up to 4. They just bumped her up to 4. All right. Well, still, that gives you the push-up side if you want to take it. I was just about to say here goes the second one for the next game. If you guys don't want to take that, you could definitely just go ahead and go to taking Griner's free throws. Let me make sure
Yep.
that didn't get bumped. Because if this got bumped, then I know Joey's sitting here watching this. But I'll play around and figure out which one I want to run. But either way, both of these have push upside, so kind of safe if you want to take either one of those props if you want to play them. All right, going over to the last game that we got, Chicago Sky taking on the Storm. If you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys hit the like button. It means a lot. Lets us know that you guys are enjoying the content, and subscribe if you guys have not done so already. Once we reach 1,000 subs on the channel, do plan to do a $100 giveaway. So make sure you guys subscribe if you guys have not done so already, so we can go ahead and reach that goal. Definitely want to give back to the community for you guys supporting the channel and everything that you guys have done. And just being there really has been a grind throughout this WNBA season, and I've enjoyed all the conversations that I've had with a lot of people. And we're only going to continue to grow because there's more content, more sports, and everything is coming out. NFL is coming up. We got college football week 0 yesterday. That wasn't a bad day itself. So, and then as BK, me and him were talking about it before the stream, we got hockey coming up. We got NBA coming up. So, we're going to have shows and everything for all these things that are coming. So definitely make sure you guys tap in if you guys have not already. Hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss anything. And let's get into this last game. All right. The Sky taking on the Storm. So while you were talking about that, I had peeped something. Both of these games right here, the Dream taking on the Fever and the Sky taking on the Storm. Both of these are 1 point difference in the games. All right, that's it. The only game that has a pretty decent spread is the Dallas taking on the Phoenix Mercury because, of course, Dallas is more superior, I'd say, going up against the Phoenix Mercury. They got their players. They should still win even without Satu. So pretty interesting that these two games right here are going to be expected to be tight. Hopefully they actually are. We know how crazy things do happen on Sundays. Going over to the Chicago Sky side, from this, I'm be honest, I actually like all of these starters. Marbury, Williams, Copper, Smith, Easy, like all of them. I like all of them inside the spot. Kind of really hard to rank them. Before I even jump into the starters and even look at them, I will tell you right now, Dana, I know that she's been great to us. She's been good, but they got her priced up at 5'4". I'm not going to touch it. She has to go back down to me to be at least 5K or below if I want to play Dana Evans. This is not a spot that I would expect her to get, super crazy run. I understand in 21 minutes, she went out there and she dropped 40.5 fantasy points. They blew them out. This was a blowout game, so she legit played the whole second half. I'm not expecting this game to be a blowout by any means. In the first game that they played, she played 25 minutes. In 25 minutes, she gave us 17 fantasy points, and she was 5'5" then. So, again, for the value for her, she has to go back at least a 5K or below before I even want to run back and go back to that. Everyone else on the bench, not even going to mess with that. So, with that being said, blowout game the last time that these teams played. You already know the Sky. They're not going to come in here to the Storm's house. The Storm are going to remember that. They're going to remember they just got embarrassed. This game should definitely be close. looking at that game, looking at it, Copper, we know we normally will start with her if it's coming anything for the Sky, just because Copper, she is the leader. She's done very well in all three games that she has played going up against the Storm this season with 33, 39, and 31 fantasy points. Definitely a good spot for her once again to go out here, do what she's done. I don't mind going through that. She probably could have put up more fantasy points in that last game where she only got 31 if the game did not blow out. We actually seen last game out Marbury. She kind of got a little hot out there going up against the Aces. 33 fantasy points in that 35 minutes. She's had an up and down result going up against the Storm, but inside their house in the game that they did play against them, she dropped 39 fantasy points in 29 minutes, giving us 22, 6, and 5 for her stat line. So that's actually really not bad for her. And then Courtney Williams, last starter that we can go to, she's just been the middle of them, 16, 23, and 22 fantasy points. So, of course, if you got to rank them, it's going to be Copper, Marbury, and then it'll be Courtney Williams for me if we're going with it. And then, of course, Courtney, she's kind of on a little bit of one of her slumps that she has anyway. We know that she's up and down, and you got to attack her at the right time. So that would be how I look for that. And then Elena Smith, Elizabeth Williams, I don't mind either one of them in the spot. Kind of have a little bit of love for Elena Smith in this spot today. Was looking at her quite a bit in all three games. She's at least getting us over 25 fantasy points. Popped off at Seattle for 46 fantasy points. And then that last game in the blowout, she dropped 32 fantasy points. So really do like that for her in this spot. Definitely don't mind it. What you got? I mean, this is your team, so I know you got to have a really good deep dive for this one.
Okay, so I put this out in the Discord earlier. So tomorrow is Kalia Copper's birthday. I just found out that today is Breonna Stewart's birthday. So now yesterday kind of makes sense of what happened and what went on. Now that makes a lot more sense to me today.
Yeah, they was feeding her yesterday, man. They was
yeah. So I missed out on that one. So I'm trying not to miss out on this one today. Tomorrow's her birthday. Like you said, 3 straight 30 plus fantasy games. Also trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. So they're definitely going to come to play. They're definitely trying to come to win. 2, the last time Kalia Copper had a game the day before her birthday was 2021. She played against the Seattle Storm in Seattle and dropped 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals.
Oh, so she liked playing Seattle.
You know me. I like narratives. I love narratives. So I'm going with it. I'm going to her today. This is a spot where she smashed her PRA in all 3 games. So to have it at 22.5, I don't understand.
That's a beautiful gift for a birthday right there.
Her free throws, 11 of 11, 4 for 4, and 2 of 4. And it's at 2.5. I get it. I see the slump. Like we said, last game was a blowout. The other 2, it is what it is. But I mean, in a spot where she's basically covering every game, and this is what we get today, like, come on, man. I love her props today. Love them. Love them today. Rebounds, you can look at those. Do they have turnovers up there? I don't believe so. But yeah,
no turnovers.
Love her PRA, love her free throws a ton today. You can make a case for either one, honestly. But that was just crazy to me because I'm like, that don't make no sense to me. Like, it don't make no sense at all. Mabry, really like her again, like you said, like her again today. Again, this Chicago team has to win. They have to win. They literally about to be on the out, not just on the outside of the playoffs, but they about to give Dallas a lottery pick as well.
Hey, go ahead, give us that, man. I mean, y'all wanted to take Mabry. Y'all got her.
You see what I'm saying? So I that's where I'm looking at. And then, like you said, Alana Smith, definitely looking at her today. 46, 26, and 32 fantasy points. She has covered her stocks all 3 games. Can she do it for a 4th time? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. That's the reason why I love her fantasy score. I mean, she doing it all. She's scoring, she's rebounding, and she's giving you those blocks and steals, exactly what you need for her to hit value. So for me, I'm prioritizing Alana Smith over um, Liz Williams today.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind that at all. Like I said, it's just weird. Been landing on Alana Smith when I was looking at stuff. I do like what she could definitely bring to the table, and like you said, she has definitely covered that blocks and steal prop every game going up against them so far this season. Spot she could definitely do it. We know she can get some blocks off, especially with the way Horston likes to drive to the rim. Jewel Lloyd maybe on the interior, not on the outside.
Yeah.
Easy things like
And
that. So yeah,
here's my thing. I think you can still take a stab at Dana Evans in tournaments. Like you said, don't love the price for it. But again, let's just say Courtney Williams is having an off game because me and you have talked about Kalia Copper. We've talked about Marina Mabry.
yeah.
Said nothing about Courtney Williams. So I mean, if we thinking that she gonna have a down game and we're not talking about her, she's not going to be talked about. I don't hate the spot for Courtney Williams, but I also don't love it. So I don't mind going to Dana Evans still if we're talking about that. Lana Smith PRA, what is it at?
Um, it's at 18.5.
Shit. She covered the first game damn near off of just rebounds. Missed the second, covered the third. I mean, I don't hate it. I
I
don't
was
hate
like,
it.
I said the blocks and steals for Alana Smith. I take that before I take the PRA. But still, I mean, either one, I would literally for real, blocks and steals over the PRA. You can still run the PRA, but I would probably prioritize getting the blocks and steals for
Mhm.
that one because she legit. If you watch her play, the girl was good on defense, man. She be out there, she be hunting them blocks, and half the time, like legit half the time, whenever they're calling her for a foul, it is a clean block, and that pisses me off sometimes when I've watched them play, and I'm like, she's not fouling, she's got the length. Y'all just don't think that she's done did it, which is weird.
Right.
It's crazy, but yeah. All right, so you done with the sky?
Yeah.
Okay, going over to the storm side. We ain't even gonna beat a dead horse on this one. You guys already know what it is. It's Jewel Lloyd up at the top, 10-8. I mean, the only thing I can say about Lloyd is that I know that she has had her ups and downs going up against the Sky this season. In that first game, she only dropped 23 fantasy points. The second game, she dropped 35. Expected more from her in the last game that they played. She only went out there 31 minutes and gave us 38 fantasy points. She's back at home. Maybe some home cooking might do her some justice. They haven't had to play in the past what 3 days. So definitely some rest. They were on the road these past 3 games. So maybe we can actually see a decent game from her here inside of her house. Don't hate it, but right there for her price at 10-8, I would more than likely rather just go ahead and play my girl Arike, who was down there at 10-1 if I had to choose between the two. But still, not a bad spot. Easy. If Lloyd's not going to have it, or if they want to stay inside the game anyway, you already know Easy. She's going to have to do what she has to do and pick up the slack. 20, 43, and 27 fantasy points in this spot. Of course, this last game being the blowout. This game that was actually close, I guess, is one that we can look more to. 43 fantasy points. We could possibly get something like that for her. She's coming off of a 44 fantasy point game going up against the Indiana Fever. So there's that for her. Looks like she might be hitting her stride again, definitely getting her shots and stuff. As long as she stays out of foul trouble, that's not going to be bad. If you don't want to pay up for Lloyd, you can always come down to Sammy. You guys already know. If Lloyd's not got it going, Sammy, she'll try to go up there and jack up her crazy fast behind shots that she takes. Her shot is fast. You notice that? Like
Yeah.
that is legit. It hits her hand and it's gone. Like she's quick with it. Um, but yeah, Kel, you said Elena Smith for fantasy score for the stock reasons. Yeah, you could definitely go with her fantasy score, especially because the blocks and steals. If we're expecting her to cover that 2.5, that means that's right there. That's 9 fantasy points right there
Yeah.
out the gate
Three.
for her. And they got her fantasy score sitting at 27. So you just need her to go ahead and get her rebounds, which she
And
should
that's
definitely.
been bumped because it was at 26-5 when it opened.
Oh damn. Well, I mean, 27. That's there for a push. Um, let's see. Diverting from covering the storm, but looking at it, she's covered it in 2 out of the 3 games. Of course, that one game where she 33 minutes 26. So She still has the upside to definitely hit it. I don't mind that fantasy score. That's definitely good. Definitely wish could have got that before the bump without the push repercussions. But back to the Storm. Sammy, not a bad spot. Definitely don't mind her if you want to get off of Lloyd. And then Horston, she's looked pretty decent being in the starting lineup. Looks like she's getting more comfortable. She's jacking up a ton of shots. The thing we just need to see is the shots to actually fall. She's producing everywhere else. She's getting rebounds. She's getting a couple of assists. She's playing on the defensive side. I just need to see the shot fall. The double-digit shot attempts, that is very good. That's really good to see. Once she actually gets some more of those to actually fall, it's only a matter of time for she busts and gets us at least a 30-plus fantasy point game. So sitting at 7-2, I don't mind or hate that for her at all in this position. And if we look and see what she's done playing against them on the season in those 3 games, and this is off the bench. 17 minutes, she gave us 22 with 12 points and a couple of other things. 15 minutes, she got 13. And then, of course, in that last game, 30 minutes, blowout game, she gave us that 22. So definitely this could be a spot where she finally busts out and hits over that 30 fantasy point mark. She was close to it with 27 in the last game against the Fever. So we can see that. And if you guys want a crazy, stupid, dumb value, I know I kind of talk about it almost every time the Storm are on the slate, but Kia Nurse, 4,500. Don't mind that inside of the below 5K range. An option that you can go to. She's been at least 4 out of the last 5 games. She scored double-digit fantasy points, but it's definitely a GPP option unless you're like stacking your line with a bunch of other studs. You could look there as a possible play for you on the slate. What you got?
All right. So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. Lloyd's free throws. I do love it. It's high as shit at 6.5.
Hey, but she cleared that last game though. It was a sweat.
Last game she cleared it versus this team twice, I believe, in a matchup. I want to say, let me see if I can get it pulled up real fast. I'll talk about some other plays until I get it pulled up. But like you said, Lloyd, I like Lloyd a ton. Ezzy, I don't really know what to do with Ezzy. I do like her. One prop that I like for her was her field goals made. I think she's done well with her field goals in this spot as well. Let me see. Pull it up. Yeah, 6, 7, 5. So I mean, you got to push her over and a miss. But I do like her field goals.
Oh, you just cut out. We're gonna wait for BK to come back.
Made in this spot.
There you go.
I've liked attacking these forwards versus for Chicago. So I don't mind Ezzy. I think she actually gets there today. I do really like her field goals made. A lot of some of these props that I'm yelling off to, or some props that didn't make the list, only did like 11 and 12 props today. So that's one of the props that didn't make it, but I do really like that one today. So Horsted was the one that I thought was interesting. All right. So I really just had her stuff pulled up. Let me get back to it. So if you look at her game, she's had some really good games versus Chicago too. Not just crazy off the charts, but I mean, when you look at the minutes and fantasy production, she's had some really good games. 17 minutes, 22 fantasy points in the first game. 15 minutes, 13 fantasy points in the second game, 30 minutes, 22 fantasy points in the third game. So I don't mind her today. I love her fantasy score. I don't mind the PRA even. What is her PRA at?
Horston's PRA is sitting at 14.5. And I want to say she cleared that easy last game. I'll take that one. That's my last one to fill in.
Yeah, I mean, she had in 17 minutes, she had 14 PRA. In 15 minutes, she had 12 PRA. In 30 minutes, she had was that 15, 18 PRA. So I mean, she definitely can get there. So I love her fantasy or PRA today. Again, another prop that didn't make the list, but I love either or. Like either works with me. The PRA are probably it's probably better. Because like I said, when you look at her minutes, like I said, the minutes in the first game, 17 minutes, 14 PRA, 15 minutes, another 12 PRA, and she's getting shit. If she has to play 40, she play 40. She 38, 30, 28, 24, 16 in her last five. So I mean, she's getting the minutes. As long as she stays in the starting lineup, that PRA should be really nice today. So I love the PRA for her today. Um, Other than that, I'm not really looking at anybody else on the Storm side. I think that's all I really like today for the Storm.
All right. All right. Well, that is the slate. If you guys got any questions, go ahead, drop them inside of the chat. We'll wait a little bit, see if you guys got anything for us. I'll give you guys a GPP core that you could run on today's slate if you guys are playing GPPs. I don't know if the $15 has filled up yet. But hey, DraftKings, I emailed my DraftKings rep, but he has not responded to me on this. I don't know what's up with these last couple of slates that you have been giving us, where we've gotten 5K to first on 3 and 2 game slates, and on the showdowns you're giving us 10K to first. But that's ass backwards. We got to fix that. That's not okay. That is not okay. There's no reason why on a Sunday 3 game slate I'm getting 5K to first.
All right. And then the Lloyd free throws, yes, love it. 8 or 9, game one, game two, 3 or 3, but that last one she was 8 of 10. So she definitely can get there. She definitely can get there.
All right, if you guys will, let me refresh, make sure, see if we got any news about Alicia Gray or Saw 2.
Put them on different slips of the same team. What's the offer? It just honestly, it's just all about, I guess, how your lineup comes out. I mean, if you in a spot where you can double stack 2 players from the same team that could possibly go off, then I definitely do it. But you also have plays like there's a cheap play from a team, and then you have another high price or a player that's in a great spot. That's another way that you can go about looking at it. So I mean, you don't necessarily have to not play 2 players from the same team in the same lineup. I think that's fine. And also, if you saying it about your prospect slip, I think it all just comes down to what you like as far as slip wise. Me personally, um, I love Mariah Jefferson's assist, and then I love Brittany Griner's free throws. I didn't know which one I wanted. I definitely could have went to somebody else over Brittany Griner. That's why I said if y'all want to take her out, you definitely could, because it ain't no telling how she's gonna play. It says Gray is out for today, so Gray is out. Then yeah, that question on Ryan Howard's points, that definitely love it today. Big bumps to her and Parker. Definitely love both of them. But yeah, that's how that shakes out. So
Another thing to answer is literally what you were saying, especially when it comes down to props 717. When you're making your slip, you kind of want to correlate if you're going to play 2 teammates from the same team. And he touched on it when he was talking about the assists and the free throws made, or like we have right now, Enrique and Sophie Cunningham, five 3-pointers made. So on the other side of that, you can run like Jefferson's assist, because typically Sophie, she's going to get those threes. Maybe more than likely, it's going to be off of a couple of Jefferson dishing the ball to her. Or if we were to take Brittany Griner's points and we're already high on Jefferson's assist, that would be one that would be positive correlation right there that we would want, because Brittany Griner normally she's going to be getting those easy tosses to her down there in the post, maybe 1-2 dribbles, and then she turns around, hits the fader or something like that. That still will count as an assist to the person who passes the ball. So that's how you get those that correlation right there. Down here, like the Kalia Copper, we're high on her points, rebounds, and assists. That's why I didn't put put Alana Smith in this one for her fantasy score or her PRA because I'm already high on Kalia Copper for her PRA. If I was going to take Alana Smith prop, I'm going to take her blocks and steals because the correlation with that, I'm not expecting Alana to go out there and score and rebound and do everything if I'm going to be expecting Copper to go out here and pop off and do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, on the other side, if you want to go with someone else running it back from another team, Horston, we're high on Horston for her PRA. That's why I would run both of their PRAs inside of this game and possibly could run it as a single slip itself. So that's kind of how you would look at that. Or, I mean, give you another example. Cheyenne Parker, we got her for 5.5 field goals made. We're talking about how Ryan, this is going to be a smash spot for her. Again, myself, if I'm taking her points, I'm taking her first half because she sometimes dies in the third quarter and then comes back to live in the fourth, and it's going to be a sweat for her. I would take her first half points if I'm going to take something, and I'll still take Cheyenne for her 5.5 field goals made because Cheyenne is Cheyenne. And honestly, I really don't see how the fever stop her today. I really do like the slip that we made on the stream, though. So if you guys want the full slip, hopefully you guys can see it. Cheyenne Parker, 5.5 field goals made. Erica Wheeler, 21 fantasy points scored. Arike and Sophie Cunningham, 3 points made. Arike, she gonna get that herself today. That's gonna be a no sweat. Brittany Griner for 3 free throws made. Kalia Copper for 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Jordan Horston for 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Yeah, really do actually like the slip. I might actually put a little bit extra on it today. You know, since it is Sunday, it's the Lord's Day. The Lord gonna bless us. I might, I'm gonna tell you off stream how much I'm gonna put on it. But anyone got any other questions? That's why I don't like combos. It's like Boston and Alyssa Smith rebound combo if they're playing a team that lacks size. Yeah, I mean, so the thing with the combo props, the same team combo props, it depends on which players they're pairing up together. Like if you look at it, I'll use the Aces for an example because that's an easy team to kind of figure out who does what. For the Aces, if they put Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum assist prop up, I'm gonna want to take that because they average the most assists for that team. And we already know Chelsea Gray herself, she go out there and get you 7 to 8 assists. And Plum on the other side can go and get you 3 to 4 assists. And if they put their assist prop at 11.5 to 12, that's typically going to be a decent one that you're going to want to take. Now, on the other side of that, if they're going to put, like, say, Plum and Jackie or Plum and Wilson for points, their point prop up at like a 34 or something like that, that's going to be when you want to take those type of ones that go together. Like, something like that. You have to look and make sure that the players that you're playing inside of those assist props or those rebounds and all those things, that's when you want to pay attention to, okay, who actually averages this, that, and the third. Who am I already on for their points individually? Can I actually look at together?
No, somebody was wrong, bro.
What's up?
Alicia Gray is in. Again,
in?
I still love both plays. It makes me love both plays even more. But Alicia Gray is in. Is she available to play?
Available to play. Available to play. Yeah, Sabrina and assist props are good too since they Sabrina and Sloop always is a good prop, especially when they have it at like that 11.5, 12 range. That's a decent one right there. But it depends on honestly what Sabrina we're gonna get on the day. Are we getting scoring Sabrina or are we gonna get playmaker Sabrina because she's been up and down? Should I attack the close games for DFS? Honestly, after we broke down everything, just looking at it, Kiwan, like I said, I really don't favor this Dallas and Phoenix Mercury game. The only ones that I really like were on the Dallas side anyway. So yeah, the Atlanta Dream and Fever game, that should definitely be a close and good game. Like it grades out on paper to be a good game. And then the Sky and the Storm game, there's some good, decent pieces from both sides that we touched on that you can honestly take from that game straight out the rip. Like both of those should be good. Still like Kelsey today. Even though Alicia Gray, yeah. I mean, even with Alicia Gray being back, I don't see a reason not to like Kelsey. Kelsey Mitchell field goals made at 7. You taking Kelsey Mitchell's field goals made?
I would take her threes before I take her.
Her 3-point attempts or her threes made. She's been I'm telling you, she has been hot over these last couple games. Like hot. I'm debating if I want to man, Man. Who's a sleeper team y'all like for the playoffs? I think Washington and the Dream at full strength are dangerous. Who's a sleeper team you got for the playoffs?
Dallas.
You can't pick my team.
I've been saying that shit. I've been saying that shit since the season started, bro. Dallas and Washington have been my sneaky team since the season started. I'm going with Dallas now because Washington can't fucking stay healthy.
True. Oh shit, I got a good one.
If I'm going with a sleeper, that's what I'm getting. Coffee out, so we won't be full strength. Yeah. Yep. You lose a lot losing Coffee in Atlanta because she was really good defensively. Now
And she stretched the
she
floor.
don't bring a whole bunch scoring, but when she on, she fucking on, and it's hard to stop that.
With that, you think they're gonna go ahead and just still start Billings over running Nas? Because Nas is just
I don't know.
Nas is it's like she's hit or miss. Like she's not bringing too much out there, man.
They got copper rebounds at 3.5 on what you call it.
Because people been hitting the under on it. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I might switch Brittany Griner out for Jefferson's.
4 on Prize Picks.
Yeah, it's at 4 on prospects right now, but
Yeah, it's at 3.5 on Hot Streak. So if you're watching this shit and you got a Hot Streak account, I'm about to put out a slip with that shit in it.
any values today? When you say values, are you talking about props or are you talking DFS side? Q1. Bro,
You know what's a
candidate.
value? You know what's a value? Mariah Jefferson, PA. Nah, I'm not taking that shit. I can't trust. I can't trust her that much. I trust her assists and shit, but I can't. I'll probably just do that. The 3.5 rebounds and half assists. I trust that shit, but I can't trust her. Her scoring, bro. Her scoring be crazy as hell.
You took some props from the Suns in Sparks game, didn't you? Because I wasn't up to put anything
Yeah,
into that. I was asleep.
I'm right now. I think we're gonna be sweating Nneka, bro. Nneka was bullshit in that first half. Like she was at 15 at the end of the third, and she had got pulled like with seconds left at the end of the third, with like a minute left. So she probably ain't gonna come back to like around the 6 minute mark or something like that. But whoo, that shit's gonna be sweaty, sweaty Betty.
Most improved was most improved player 717. You must be on a book where you could bet on end of the season stuff because you've been asking us about these things right here. Look out for the show that we do. It's going to be sometime next week. We're going to answer all these questions of most improved, MVP, 6 woman of the year, defensive player of the year, all of that. We're going to answer all of those. All of those are going to be answered. And when everything is locked for the playoffs, we're going to do another show. We got some couple things lined up. We're going to do another show where we're going to fill out our bracket for how we think the playoffs is going to go down. So we're going to do all of those things right there. Q1 for DFS side. Value on today's slate coming down here. We so there wasn't too much value. Now, of course, with Gray being in, that's gonna mess with Haley Jones. That's definitely not gonna be there. Asia Durr wasn't really on her anyway. We kind of need to know if Satu's going to play or not because of Walk and Maddie. That'll still be value that we can go to today. The value I think we're going to end up having to go to is going to be inside of this 5K range on the slate or just getting different and paying down at guard or something like that. But you could definitely look towards Wallace at 5'3". She has done very well in this matchup going up against the Atlanta Dream in 30 minutes. In her first 2 games she played against them, scoring over 20-plus fantasy points in both of those games. She is still playing. She is still starting, and she is still playing at least 25 to 30 minutes in her games. It's just her shot isn't falling. And when you got a hot Kelsey Mitchell, I can definitely understand why she's not really putting up and doing too much in the position. But Wallace, that's definitely some value that you can go to here on the slate. If you want to take a GPP chance on Russell, you can go with that. But if Satu's going to be out, we have a walk value, we have Maddie value, and then like I said, I'm not playing Grace. And BK was very high on Sutton. He likes Sutton at the 5'8". That's definitely another one that you can run to. Again, with what's her name playing? Ari McDonald at 6'5". Do not play that. That's just way too much for her. And if you want to come down off of Ezzy, you can come down here and play Horston. Horston's in a decent spot. Definitely both believe that she can at least get you 25 to 30 fantasy points on the slate, sitting at 7-2. It's not bad. I honestly don't hate that. Grinder rebounds and assist, or just her boards?
Grinder rebounds or assists or just her boards? Shit. Because do we really trust Grinder to rebound, bro?
I never trust Grinder to rebound. That's why I'm sitting here before I lock
What's
in
the
this slip.
RA? Well, no, I wouldn't even do RA because what you call is not playing. Donna Taurasi not playing. That's the only person I trust with her RA.
I mean, her RA is at 9, and that's the thing. She does tend to get those assists, but going up against Dallas, I don't think that she's.
If I'm playing her rebounds, then I'm playing her rebounds in a combo. I'm not trusting her by her fucking self. Like,
She hasn't come anywhere close to this this RA playing against Dallas at all.
right.
At all. And then I mean that's what I'm saying. Dallas is leading the league in rebounds. Like our
Yeah.
front court is just too fucking big. We rebound like crazy. It's crazy how she's the biggest. So that's the thing too. She's not going to be the biggest person on the court today. McCowan and Kalani Brown both match her in size and stature, and they're actually a little bit thicker than what Grinder is. They both match her in this game. That's why it's a much tougher matchup for her, because they can actually play physical going up against her. Like that's the thing on that one right there. But it is crazy how she do be the biggest person out there most of the times, and she don't be getting no rebounds. That shit drives me crazy.
Damn, bro.
But I will say with Grinder on the court, Brianna Turner, her rebounds, they tend to go up because she actually rebounds very well with Grinder being out there.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna give you guys a core that I actually do like. I like running back with Horson on the other side. So Copper and Horse definitely do like going with both of those right there that you can run. And then either like an Aaliyah Boston or an Alyssa Smith. This is gonna be a GPP if you guys want something to run. But Copper's gonna be in my main line today. Sold it, birthday narrative and everything. She will be main play on today's slate. So yeah, definitely.
All right, bro. Let me get on up off here. I gotta go help her with the kids.
All right. If you guys ain't got no more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and get off and get my stuff up. I'm about to go and slide the slip in as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you guys did enjoy the stream, and hit the subscribe button. Again, we reached 1K. We're gonna be doing $100 giveaway. You know, us small time YouTubers, we gotta do a little something to give back to the community. So thank you guys for tuning in. Dropping in your questions that you guys got down in the comment section after the video is posted, and we will get those answered as well. Talk to us in the Discord. And with that being said, we will see you guys later on this week for a bigger slate.